Good evening, and this is episode 11 of Echoes from the Arena. This one's entitled Man Must Play the Digital Edition.
There you go.
So today we are going to discuss something that I've uh, enjoyed for much of my life, and Dad has watched me enjoy for much of my life, and
Yes, I have.
has not really gotten into the game itself. But we're going to talk about John Madden football, the history of it, the origins, how the idea came up and how it may be inspiring today's modern day playbooks.
And if I just can interject one thing here, and
Of course.
just to piggyback what you said earlier about me watching you play, I remember when, early days, you kind of knew it was a game, a video game, and as we
Hmm.
have moved on into the farther reaches of the 2020s, it's become almost hard to tell
The
that it's a
game has
game.
been out for 37 years
I did not
now.
know that. Did not
Yeah.
know that.
It was created in 1988. Let me just take let's go back to the late 80s. The founder of Electronic Arts, or EA, as most of us know, or EA Sports in a lot of cases for the sports games. EA was founded by somebody by the name of Trip Hawkins. It sounds like a weatherman. Um, the name almost is too good to be true, but Tripp was a Harvard Business School graduate and a football strategy nerd. So, Dad, you can imagine what one of his first loves would have been. Maybe
Yeah.
something you enjoyed when you were a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm speaking of?
Mm, Not right. No, I do not.
Stratomatic football?
Oh, yeah, the Stratomatic football. Yes.
That's was that the vibrating one, right? And like,
Yes, if I can just I don't want to interrupt your flow, but
oh no, that's fine.
I want to go back to it's funny you mentioned that because I was doing some research which I'm going to put in the our doc page about the 1964 AFL championship game
Hmm.
between the Bills and the Chargers, which I was fortunate to be at. And I just thought it was a seminal moment in my childhood at the time. And it was just a perfect football afternoon, the day after Christmas, but I won't go into it now. The reason I'm getting there is the year before, the Bills played a playoff game against the then Boston Patriots in Buffalo. I believe it was Christmas Eve, and they lost the game. Boston went on to play in the championship game against the Chargers and lost, I believe, 51 to nothing
Oh my
in
God.
San Diego. The reason I'm bringing it up is
Hmm.
I knew exactly where I was and what I was doing during that game. While the adults were watching the game on TV, I was on the floor playing a Strata Magic football game,
Stratomatic.
a Stratomatic. Never saw one prior. We were on Long Island visiting my Aunt Grace, who lived in Brooklyn, and we were out in Queens, and we were at one of her friend's houses, and her kid had a Stratomatic
Matic.
football game,
Yeah.
and I was playing it, and I was absolutely blown away by it. So we had to get one. So there you go. That was my
Yeah.
introduction. And
So for
yes.
those that don't know what a Stratomatic is, you'd have players on the field and then you'd turn it on, right? And it would
Yeah, it would vibrate.
the whole field would vibrate and the players would start moving. And there'd be somebody who had the ball, right?
You had a
And
magnetic ball.
they had a
Yes.
magnetic ball and then they would
Yes.
travel down the field.
The playing field was an actual, football field with the stands. It came with the
Hmm.
stands and everything. So it was a stadium, and it was just for us. It was like
how does it get any more real than this? It's
Yeah,
what we used to
it was
think when
amazing. Yes,
every
it
time we
was
would see a
amazing.
different iteration of Mad, and it doesn't get any more realistic than this. 8-bit graphics.
And yes, we were drawing up plays. We were running plays and what have you. It was hard to do because obviously they were going to go where they wanted to go, but
Hmm.
it was just a lot of fun. And it was
But so Tripp wanted to create a digital version of that, and he
okay.
wanted it to have he wanted to digitize the experience, and he approached John Madden in 1984 for his football expertise. Madden initially refused to endorse the game unless it featured 11 players per side. He
Right,
wanted it to be true to actual football.
right.
This insistence delayed the development, but ensured some authenticity in the game. Um, I don't know what was prior to that, but I imagine it was something like a 7-on-7, 6-on-6 sort of thing. But this would have been like Nintendo, or prior to that, I believe Apple II was what it was first released on. Interestingly enough, for those who know video games a bit more, Bethesda Softworks had an early development role in Madden football. They're now famous for Fallout, The Elder Scrolls. They later sued Electronic Arts over uncredited code usage, which is
Okay.
interesting for those that know about the two giants, EA and Bethesda. I don't know that they really get together much anymore. Um, they seem to be two giants now on their
Right.
own. Anyway, so John Madden Football debuted in 1988 on the Apple II computer. It wasn't until 1990 Sega Genesis version that the franchise started to gain some traction. They sold about 400,000 copies. EA expected about 75,000.
Wow.
So we think about the time in the NFL. The NFL was getting more exciting as we got into 1990. The Bills were good, and it was a lot of offense. It was starting
Hmm.
to become a passing league
Right,
slowly.
right,
Um,
right.
so you could see how it could start to gain some traction at that time. Um, the game officially became Madden NFL in 1993 after EA secured full NFL rights, allowing real teams and players to be featured. I think it's similar to like NHL 94 was the first of the NHL series. The 1993 version of that game was the NHLPA 93. So it
Okay.
was like it was endorsed by the Players Association, but not by
Right,
the
right,
league itself.
right.
So it's like you had franchises in Buffalo, but we couldn't call them the Sabres. Um, Same thing with I think like the 92 version of Madden has like I don't think they're called New England. I think they're called Boston or something. But it's like Buffalo, Chicago, Boston, but they don't call they have the color schemes are correct, but
Right.
it was
But
also
not the nicknames.
yeah, it was also, Sega Genesis, so 16-bit
Right.
was only going to get so it's only going to get so good on Sega. So, a couple things that I wanted to pop in with, um, as far as the game is concerned, just to kind of get out of the way is, if anyone's familiar with the Madden curse, uh, I don't believe in curses, but there are some interesting. So Garrison Hurst was the considered to be one of the first Madden curse players because he was on the international cover of the game in 1999, later broke his ankle in the playoffs, missed 2 seasons from it. Barry Sanders, he retired before the season began. He was on the cover in 2000.
Mm,
Michael Vick suffered a fractured fibula just days after the game's release in 2004.
wow.
If I go back to 2002, Dante Culpepper had injuries and 16 fumbles in the season that he was on the cover.
Mm, mm,
2003, Marshall Faulk, injured, never rushed for 1,000 yards again.
wow.
Ray Lewis, 2005, they missed the playoffs. He had no interceptions. Uh, we jumped to 2019, Antonio Brown, off-field drama, career decline. Last year's version of Madden had McCaffrey on it. He played in 4 games.
Yeah.
Was on the IR twice. Season before that, Josh was on the cover, and they didn't get through in the playoffs.
Right, right.
In fact,
Mm,
they weren't very good that year, at least in the regular season.
right, right. I
So
didn't know the curse was that. I didn't know that the curse was that elongated.
if I go through like the players, if I go through who's on the cover of each one,
Yeah.
there's some pretty interesting ones. Some seasons defy the curse. So Calvin Johnson was on it in 2012. He had a great season. Mahomes in 2020. I think in 2020 he was on it with Brady. Um, but anyway, let's talk a little bit about maybe how it has cultivated our modern day coaching trees. Um, so as far as the NFL is concerned, we have the coaching trees are really like what the Shanahan coaching tree, right? The Andy Reid coaching tree,
Mm-hmm.
Bill Parcells coaching
Before
tree.
the
Well,
Bill
before
Walsh,
Shanahan, it would have
the,
been
the
Bill Walsh.
the
So it's
Bill
a
Walsh
Walsh
tree.
tree.
That was actually, I think, Shanahan
He
came out of the
came
Bill
off of that.
Walsh
You're right.
family tree, right?
So it's like
Coaching tree.
family tree.
Um,
It's like Walsh, Parcells. Does Andy Reid come? Is he on his own?
Andy Reid would be, he has his own coaching tree now, but I believe he's another one that came out of the
West Coast?
Walsh Walsh
Interesting.
tree because he came out with Mike Holmgren,
Hmm.
who coached the Packers for a bit. Yeah, that whole West Coast offense that we see, which is basically what Kansas City is still running to this day,
Yeah.
a version of it, a more creative, imaginative version of it. But yeah, so coaching trees. Um,
So Madden 26, and this is not like a paid promotion for Madden. I've been playing it. Today's the 10th, so I've been playing it for 3 days. I enjoy it and hate it at the same time, depending on how I'm playing or whom I'm playing against. There are some things that still like annoy me, but as far as this year's Madden, they did put coaching DNA in, so the latest version integrates some like real world coaching tendencies using artificial intelligence.
right.
If you're facing Andy Reid, expect creative offensive plays. You're playing against Dan Campbell, he's going to go for fourth down more often, which he just naturally does. So think of
Hmm.
it like a digital chess match with real NFL minds. We talked about chess match last episode with the Tour de France.
Hmm.
This is another chess match where
Another
we've
one, yeah.
got chess being done in 11 on 11. Um, so this year's Madden, along with previous years, have these pretty substantial playbooks with lots of formations, and you can even create your own. I don't know if it's available yet in this version of Madden, but I like to create your own playbook feature. Um, I prefer to run like a lot of spread stuff. I like to stretch the defense out. I like to find mismatches underneath with, you know, quicker slot players
Hmm.
up
Hmm.
against linebackers. But how did I learn any of this is just from playing Madden in general and
Right,
watching a
right.
lot of football probably. But
Yes.
part of the idea that I guess John Madden wanted to do was he wanted to give exposure to the NFL and NFL and football strategy.
Hmm. Hmm.
So we have, I think in some cases, we have maybe smarter fans because of it. Um, And as far as like some of the playbooks that they have in like I actually kind of don't even like the Bills playbook in the most recent version of Madden,
Right,
but
right,
the depth at which these playbooks get, you're talking about, okay, I'm running pistol, and then I'm going to run in the gun, and then the amount of different variations of formation for shotgun has to be well over a dozen deep,
right, right,
with all sorts of different formation modifiers and little, name quirks and stuff. So it's just like if you were to read the entire play out using the formation, it would still be pretty substantial uh, call out as far as the play is concerned.
right,
And Dad, maybe you can speak a little bit more to like what a play might sound like in the
right, right,
huddle.
right, right. At our level, it was pretty basic. It was basically a formation, and then it was a number, which gave us,
The idea of who
first
gets the
number.
ball and then what the hole they hit for
Yes, the
running.
first number would have been the back. The second number would have been the hole you're going through. Like for example, we could call a jet sweep 48. You know, we could have a formation. We could go, power left, jet sweep 48. So our formation is a power left. The jet sweep is the wing back coming back across the formation. He hands on, it's a handoff and it's a sweep to the opposite side.
Right, but if you showed somebody from Europe who didn't know American football at all and you told them that, they wouldn't know what that
Oh
is.
yeah, oh
It's
yeah.
still pretty complex.
And then we did go. We could go. Uh, you know, power right, uh, rocket, 48, jet sweep. So the rocket is the motion.
Hmm.
We have rocket motion, which in our a verbiage, you took it like it was a kind of a looping motion.
Uh-huh. To
A
give
jet
you,
a jet motion would be right across the, the formation.
right.
So we would have that once we start, but the last couple of years we used we had a jet sweep offense. So everything was predicated off the jet sweep. So we ran sweeps, we ran passes, uh, we ran draws, we ran powers, we ran ISOs, and basically it was we even had our quarterback because he was able to do it with the fullback. We had a fullback, and we were able to ride the fullback. And if again the quarterbacks is reading the tackle and the end on the other side of the defensive side of the ball, then he could pull it
Hmm.
and he could you
Hand it
know
off.
hand it off to the fullback if we were running a dive. So there was some versions of an option there, but not a lot. So but basically everything was off a the jet sweep. Now we ran passes. Our pass terminology was a little bit different because we got X, Y, and Z receivers. Um, we run a play we use a lot was a waggle.
No,
So it
that's
gave
where the quarterback rolls out.
the quarterback rolls out, and again he could run the ball. We also he had like four options. We had a fake to the fullback, which hopefully froze the backers.
Hmm.
We had a running back running a drag route. We had a tight end running
Drag route is just an underneath,
it's just underneath
underneath,
route. Yeah, it's
running
just
underneath the
underneath the
defense.
route. We had a tight end running across the formation at like 5 yard depth. We had
But see, my understanding of all these concepts really boils down to coming from Madden football.
right,
So you say that, and I know that's a 5 yard
right,
cross. I know
right.
what a drag is. I know what a corner is. I know what a post is. I know what a sluggo is. I know what a comeback is. I know what a curl looks like.
Got a curl, got a whip route, we got a
Hmm.
I'm trying to tell. Oh, we got a wheel route, which really
Did you
confuses
have a
kids.
zig?
We had a zig, yeah, we had a zig. I tell you, in that waggle, the
Yeah,
backside wide out ran a post, a deep post,
yeah.
and invariably that deep post is always open.
And there's a play like that that I like to use, which is it's not a QB waggle, it's a play action. It's like a quarterback. No, I guess it is a waggle. It's like a play action waggle.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's play action to the left side, and then I'm rolling out to my right. The receiver to the left is running a post. There's a tight end to the left who's running not a cross, but well, I guess it would be a crossing route, but it's kind of like it's shading deeper.
okay,
And then
okay,
you've got the um, near side tight end is just running into the flat.
okay,
And then you've got the fullback who's sitting down in the middle of the field
okay.
with a halfback. So I got a place to go, and you just read, and this is kind of what I wanted to talk about is I just read what the safeties do.
Right.
If
Right.
this if one of the safeties comes down, I know that it's cover one or maybe cover three, but I gotta watch then. Okay, safety's down to the corners.
Hmm.
What are the corners doing? What are the linebackers doing?
Right. Right.
And the ability to process that information as I play the game more often has sped up. So now I can read them relatively quickly. And if I can do it, we can only imagine that actual players can do it.
Well, we were
So,
doing
yeah.
we would my job on game day was to basically I was given a list by our offensive coordinator because I was also the offensive line coach and defensive line coach. So I was given a list by our coordinator, and this is what you need to watch for, and let me know what's going on. Like you were talking about, like if a lot of a lot of teams that we played basically just had a deep safety.
So they're
Um,
playing at cover one.
Sometimes cover one, and sometimes it would revert to a cover two. But
Oh,
if
they'd
again, if
roll a guy
yeah,
out
they
or
roll a
roll a guy
guy,
back.
they would the guy would be he would be look more linebacker depth, and he would roll back,
Hmm.
and then we would I would let coach know, and then we would know. Okay, so if they're playing deep, if especially if they're playing two back and they're rolling a guy back, or they're covering or they're playing cover two,
Hmm.
we're running the ball because we have the advantage in the box
Right.
and we're running the ball. So I'm watching for that stuff, or I'm watching D line play and what they're doing as far as their stunts. And like you said, it's
Processing
a lot of
information.
processing, a lot of like a chess match. But again, I think what you're getting at is kids because our kids kind of knew what we were talking about, and I think
Well, that's what I
most of them
guess what
play
I was going to
Madden.
ask you is
Yeah,
as I remember you coaching football when I was 8
yeah, right,
and
right,
then coaching at a much higher level,
right.
obviously, near the end of your teaching
Mm-hmm,
career.
mm-hmm.
Um, Did you see a marked improvement in the understanding of
Mm-hmm.
plays and maybe the creativity of offenses in your time?
Without question. Without question. Our offenses were very creative, and our teams we played had very creative offenses. And we were and our kids, if I said, watch if I'm, watch for the drag route, they knew what a drag route was.
Mm.
And or they knew what a slugger route is. So that the terminology, well, some teams have different terminology.
But they understand
That's
the,
basic
the gist of
terminology. I
it.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah. So yes, to answer your question, I think the kids are better. They have better understanding what's going on. When we used to do our installs in spring,
Hmm.
because in Georgia we have spring football, and so we used to
So
do
you
our
delete the
installs.
playbook at the end of every year and you reinstall it.
We didn't necessarily delete it. We ran that jet sweep offense for the last 2 years I coached, but we did tweak it, and we would change it. It could morph into more of a spread if we were behind,
Right.
and we knew we had to throw the ball. It would morph. So, but when we were but kids that were coming up, we could basically install an offense much quicker because the concepts are pretty fresh in their mind, and they kind of know from playing Madden, what things mean. So
So
that was
Madden
a big
introduced
help.
millions to the. This is a great opportunity
Yeah,
to remind
yeah,
that they introduced millions to the complexity of NFL playbooks. Players and fans learn
and
formations, more complex audibles, what hot routes are, how to do them in the game, situational play calling. I like to. I notice that if I am scoring at a decent clip and I'm coming to the end of the first half and say there's a minute and a half left,
hmm
I'm going to be more aggressive.
right, right.
Now, this is not necessarily something that has shown itself in the NFL or maybe even college yet, but I am more aggressive because I'm okay giving up the big play if it allows me to get the ball back with a decent amount of time left.
hmm hmm Yeah.
Because I'm trying to give myself that extra possession. And by being more aggressive, maybe I create a turnover. or
Right,
maybe I
right,
get a sack and then I can sit back in the zone more. Um, so like I tend to be a bit more aggressive in that scenario. And I think that's just from understanding, the clock and how many possessions there are and the fact that is every offensive possession is very critical. And if you can steal an extra one
right,
here and
right,
there, or you can grab an extra one per half, you should win the game. If you have the ball more,
right,
you
right.
should win the game.
Yeah.
I did find a little bit about defensive players using Madden. I found a little bit about defensive backs using it, as far to study angles that they should
Hmm.
be,
Right, right,
areas that they should be based on certain routes, and relation to where the quarterback is,
right, right,
which I thought was interesting because I just thought of it as, wow, you can really spread all this information out to all these people about this game, but like as far as like the quarterbacks are concerned, I feel like that's where you could see some real elevated play because you're learning how to read a defense.
right, right,
And if you can do it in the game, maybe it improves the possibility of you doing it uh, in real life.
right. Exactly, exactly. And and I don't prove, but I know that even though I know, well, if I'm thinking right as you're talking, I'm thinking of Sean McVay's offense
Mm.
and what he does out there,
It just
especially.
seems like yeah, that's all
Well,
creativity.
I know he had a father who was a coach, but at the
Hmm.
same time, I think he's taken offensive football. For example, he unfortunately it was last year against our Bills. He just put a clinic
They kicked our ass in that game.
on offense, on freeing up receivers
Getting
and
scheming guys open.
yeah, scheming
That's how
guys
Puka
open
Nakua was open that
where,
entire
where,
game.
where you continually have advantages as far as manpower advantages on one side of the field or the other.
Mhm.
And he's a master at it. The other guy, I love watching his offensive game plan is Matt LaFleur, Joe Brady
Mhm.
with the Bills, but I'm sure these guys somewhere in their background have played this game because they just see the field differently than
Mhm.
the old timers. So,
I'm curious about Joe Brady. This probably would have been a good idea as something to
were you looking
uh
for his coaching background?
yeah, but I was also looking,
I know he
uh
spent some time in Alabama, but as
yeah,
far as
and with the
his
Panthers.
Panthers, okay.
No kidding. Well, here this is interesting. So, um this is 19, no, this is the year, not 19, geez. That would have suggested it was at least 25 years old. No. This is the year 2020.
Okay.
Um, Joe Brady brings next generation approach and mystery to opener. This is when he was with the Panthers.
Okay.
Um, so in 2010, Pro Football Hall of Famer Marshall Faulk estimated more than 50% of active NFL players were heavy in the Madden video game series. Seattle linebacker KJ Wright insists Madden has helped his football intelligence. Teddy Bridgewater at the time,
Right.
created
Right.
Joe Brady's playbook in Madden to help explain it better to backups PJ Walker and Will Greer.
Huh.
The Panthers starter has taken visual reps with the video game all the way back to college at Louisville.
Wow. Wow.
It was interesting.
Well, just again, I'm
Asked
not.
whether he's still good at Madden, Brady laughed. Depends if you ask the 12-year-old Joe Brady, he said. I like to think I was good growing up. I couldn't tell you if I'm any good at it anymore. I don't even think I'd enjoy it right now because I probably am playing it more as a coach, and I'm thinking that a guy should be running a route or attacking that coverage a certain way. But I think what they're trying to make the point is that it was a factor in the creativity of some of his work, which now
Was
has extended itself to offensive coordinator of the Buffalo Bills.
I think that's very true with m most of the young coaches in the league because I see. coaches your age and younger because you guys have grown up on a generation of Madden. I think back, and again, I know this is going out around the world, but
Hmm.
I'm thinking about because I know, 'cause I watch a lot of Bills football, as do you, but I kind of, when Ken Dorsey was our OC,
Hmm.
after a while, I kind of knew what was coming. He didn't do anything to really fool me, so I'm gathering he didn't do a lot to fool defensive
The
coordinators.
actual defensive coordinator. Yeah.
Um, I don't know what's coming with Joe Brady. Joe Brady is, I have no clue. Now, granted, I don't have the luxury of watching Bills game film the week before I play them,
Right.
like a coordinator would do or defensive assistants would do. That they know what's coming just by formation.
Hmm.
Um, Anybody who watches football and listens to Tony Romo, that's what you should be able to do if you're a player or coach in the league. You should have remembered what you've seen on tape and kind of
Try to
expect what's coming.
identify it so you know what's
Yes,
coming.
because when we used to break down, before our games, me and the other assistants, as well as our head coach, we used to break down film.
Hmm.
So I used to break down the other team's O line and D line. So okay, so blocking schemes. Are they zone blocking? Um, are they defensively? Are they run? What do their stunts look like? Okay.
Hmm.
And when do they stop? Down and distance. And so all that stuff. So you kind of know what to expect. If they're in a certain formation, you kind of know what's coming because from the game tape, this is what they ran out of that formation. So, but with Joe Brady, he's 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 he calls a good game. He calls a very deceptive game, I think.
It's interesting thinking about someone like Andy Reid, who
Hmm.
still is innovating at
Oh
his
yeah,
age, and
yeah,
he didn't have the luxury of this, but he's still
yeah,
one of the most creative minds in football, as much
yeah.
as I can't stand the team he coaches. Um, but yeah, is it's I think it's indicative to his talent as a play caller and the creator of an
Right,
offense,
right.
that he's continuing to be able to do it and continuing to be innovative. That shuffle pass they run,
Hmm.
in last year's Madden, I ran that a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but it's just, it's a lot of misdirection and, look one way, but we're going the other way.
Right, right. Yep.
Just to go back to the game with John Madden's passing, he is no longer, his voice is no longer in the game. It hasn't been for quite a few years. I could do without it. It was a lot of boom and where'd that truck come from
Hmm.
and speed kills, first down. I remember initially it would just be, and Jake and Steve can back me up on this. It was like John Madden was just like some Madden quips,
Hmm.
surrounded by Pat Summerall.
Okay,
And
okay.
even in the game, to the 20, to the 25, there's a flag. And just
Mhm.
the way Pat sounded, when he was doing the play-by-play.
I take it Pat wasn't a graduate of the Newhouse School.
No, but he had a
But he did play
I
the
liked his
game. I think he
voice.
was a punter, right? I
Oh, I don't know.
think he was a
Talk
punter
about
with the
Pat Summerall.
Giants. Yeah. Uh, Pat,
I
what
know
was I
he
going
had
to
a
say?
drinking problem,
Well, I think so. I was going to
unfortunately.
say, I forget what I was going to say.
But if you hear
I lost my,
Madden just, all the time,
yeah.
that might drive me a little
Oh, I know I was going to
loopy
ask you.
too.
Who
Go
does the
ahead.
voiceover now?
So this year there's three different crews you can choose from. One is the original crew from like last season, which is some Brad something or other, and
Brad Nessler?
no, it's not. He's in college football.
Okay.
So college football, there's two, and the games, yes, they're both football, but they're very different. College football is a lot faster than
Hmm.
Madden is
Hmm.
because I think they're trying to. to show you the difference between the spectrum of athletes in college football compared to the spectrum of athletes in the NFL, where it's like the best of the best. It's really more down here, actually. But you can do, there's Greg Olson and Mike Tirico. Um, I can't think of the woman who was the play-by-play, and I can't even think of the color guy at the time. And then there's the guy who did it these past few years along with Charles Davis. I can't think of the guy's first name.
Okay.
So there's three different ones. I like the Mike Tirico one. It sounds the best, but they kind
Totally
of make it
unrelated.
so that when you're playing like Dynasty mode and you play an 8 o'clock game, you're going to get a
Right.
different broadcasting team.
Totally unrelated, but I got to bring it
Hmm.
up because while you were talking about the play-by-play guys, I remember not this gentleman wasn't a play-by-play guy, but he used to do the voiceovers on when they had the NFL films
Hmm.
shows back in the early days. Not recent. I don't even know if they do them anymore. But do you ever remember a guy by the name of John Facenta
John
or
Facenta?
Facenda? John Facenda.
No.
Okay, because he did he did the voiceovers, and he you got to go on YouTube. Maybe we should do a show about him. You got to go on YouTube and hear some of his uh his uh his
Play by
voice
play.
tracks because it's amazing. No, he's
Oh.
not a play-by-play guy. He just does he just does the voiceovers on NFL films.
Oh,
It was back in the
yeah.
60s, 70s, maybe early 80s. I think he passed in the 80s, maybe or 90s.
Some of those NFL films are
Oh, but
just
they were great.
amazing to
Yeah,
watch.
yeah, they were great.
I
Um,
remember there was a year, and they should have brought this back, and I don't know why they didn't. Or maybe they did, and I just haven't seen it, but I don't think they have it. But there was a year in Madden where when you went to instant replay,
mhm.
it started playing NFL Films music.
Oh, did they?
So it'd be like da 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 da
Yes, that's it.
da 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 da. It's the Sam Spence stuff.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all the Sam Spence stuff, right?
And I think
So it's like you're doing instant replay, and it's like you're creating this NFL Films clip. Um, I always
I
thought it
think
was,
John Facenda came up with the frozen tundra
yeah.
of Lambeau Field.
Oh, that's his voice?
I think that was John Facenta. Yes.
Oh, then I didn't know that was his
I know it was
name.
NFL Films. I know it was NFL Films that did a piece on that game. Yes.
It's the same guy. It's the same
Yes.
guy. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
I know it
That's
is.
John Facenda.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was a
Lambeau
sportscaster at
Field
some point, but he made his mark really. He made his fame with NFL
was
Films.
just taking a really nice old NFL clip that's like newly colorized and then put it in slow motion, throw some Sam Spence over it, and then this guy's talking about like Gale Sayers,
Yes, that's
like
him. Yeah, see, that's him.
that's him.
Yeah, that's him. It's
Yeah.
John Facenda. Yeah, yeah.
Huh.
So, but anyway, yeah, getting back to what you were talking about with the Madden and the fact that a generation, your generation, and then the Generation Z right now, they're learning their football from Madden, so they're very well versed. If they sit down and are watching a game, they kind of know what's going on. They kind of know
I mean,
some of the
realistically, I
verbiage.
probably learned a lot of my football from the Bills being good when I was little.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we saw a lot of them playing, but a big part of it also came from this game.
The nice thing is they had every team has its own language
Hmm.
regarding terminology and what things mean. There's a lot that are you know there's a lot of stuff that tracks from team to team, but there's some uniqueness. I don't know if you watched. There was a clip, and it's kind of unrelated to Madden, but there was a clip of Drew Brees on the Colbert Show, and Colbert asked Breeze about how do players remember the plays because the plays are long.
Yeah,
NFL plays are long,
very long.
but as Drew Brees he gave a great explanation. When he calls a play, it's parts of the play are specific to only a certain group of players.
So you don't
So
have
all
to
you're listening
actually
to is listening to
your part.
your group,
Yeah.
like O line.
Mhm.
when the O line, when he calls what the O line's going to do and moves on, they tune out because they know what they're going to do.
Right. In fact,
X,
you'll see
Y,
them break the huddle early.
yeah, yeah. And then he goes with the X, Y, Z's and he says, yeah, X post, Y drag, Z sluggo. It's the route they're running.
Mhm.
And some teams use a passing tree, which I'm sure they have in Madden, the
Yeah.
passing trees.
Yep.
So, and we actually used that at Niagara Catholic High School. We had a passing tree, so our
There's like
quarterback was able
plays
to.
that are it's the receiver will run a different route based on where the defender is.
Right,
It's their
right,
option routes. So those are in the game now. There's a very deep number of hot routes that you can call. I
right,
think you can
right,
call even more as if you're the Bills because Josh has that ability
right,
to call
right.
additional hot routes in the game. There was something else that was thinking of that. Oh, a newer thing that's come in the last few years, and I need to get better at using it and identifying it, is sliding protection in the game.
Yes,
You
yes.
slide
Good slide.
full
Yeah,
full bot like a full or a partial or a
right,
half,
right,
and then you can max protect. You can pull somebody into the backfield and then make them a pass blocker. So it's there's a lot of uh, making decisions and then making decisions based off of what the other team is doing.
right. Yeah,
So,
that's actually that was our coverage, or that was our O line blocking scheme for passing. We were a team. I had to coach slide protections and Max Pro. Um, yeah, so lots of changes, and also I don't know if it shows up in Madden, but at Madden is the are you do you have a play called before you go to the line of scrimmage, or can you change
yes,
the
I
play?
can change the play at the line of scrimmage. I can change the formation and the play at the line of scrimmage.
And you do I'm assuming you can do audibles.
I can do,
You can
yep.
kill, 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 kill.
You'll
Um,
hear him say kill, kill, kill.
yeah, yeah,
In
right.
fact, they are at the level now, and I'll post some clips on our Facebook page where Josh's voice is in the game. Lamar's voice
Okay,
is in the game.
okay.
So you're hearing him because you can kind of tell. Uh,
I got tired of hearing Peyton always call Omaha,
oh,
but I really liked, and I used to laugh my ass off every time. A few years, if you remember, you probably remember because you watched Aaron Rodgers a lot.
yeah.
Aaron Rodgers used to come up with Bozo, Bozo, which I don't know what that was. I don't know if it was an audible call
It
or
was what he was going to
something.
turn into.
I know. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, so you can change the play,
Hmm.
like you said, because many quarterbacks in the NFL are basically calling plays at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. What you can do now in this game and also in college football is you can go into hurry up, but you're
Right,
not calling plays from the audible. You're calling through the full playbook, and you
right, right,
see all your offensive skill players look at the sideline
right,
because they've got their signs.
right.
They've got their
Yep,
signs broken up
yep,
into
yep.
quadrants. You could see that in college football, but that seems to be also done in Madden
We
too.
actually had a coach. We had a coach that actually played at. He was running back at Furman, and he ran. He was our coordinator for a bit,
Mm.
and he actually ran. He loved to hurry up offense,
Oh, I
and
love playing
he
hurry up.
used to run. He used to have a offensive grouping called NASCAR, and we had wristbands, and the players were there were like 10 plays on a wristband.
Hmm.
And all you had to do was a quarterback would just go, NASCAR, NASCAR, 10, 10. And 10 was a play. And yeah, I know, if you do it too much, the other team's going to say, well, I know what 10 is. I
I
know
know what
what's
10 is now.
coming. Um,
NASCAR was also a defensive
we
formation
could,
used by the Giants.
oh yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's when they had all those great pass rushers. Their NASCAR package was all the
Okay.
pass rushers, no
Okay.
defensive tackles,
Okay.
four
Yeah.
defensive ends, rushing the passer.
But sometimes we would do. we didn't use it for a long duration of the game, but even if he did, I know he had another tactic where which sometimes gets adventurous with high school kids and stuff. But we used to go, we used to go, okay, we used to go, or used to, we used to bring him in and say, okay, and then NASCAR package. I call the number, you deduct one. So you're running, if I say 10, you're calling nine, or you're running nine. Now that got a little dicey.
because now you're
I know it's not that
trying to
hard to
trust
figure
these
out,
kids. Well, it's
but
the same way. You're like, okay,
a lot of them don't
on
listen.
two, and how many false start?
So, but yeah, he was only with us for a season, but I thought it was kind of fun. We ran a lot of hurry up that year, but
I like to do it when I've got momentum.
yeah, yeah. Well, no,
Uh,
we didn't use it just for our hurry up. It was our just for our 2 minute. It was used
you would use
throughout the
it.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could open the game with it. We could open the
Hmm.
second half with it. We could kick it in gear in the second quarter, midway through the quarter. All kinds of stuff. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very lots of flexibility.
So let me take this opportunity then to kind of just end that segment of this week's episode on John Madden football and the history of it, and just a little bit of discussion that we had on its role in the modern day game, where it came from and how it got to where it is. And Dad, I think we wanted to pivot over and talk a little bit about Division three
Mhm.
athletic departments.
Yes,
Yes.
I was when we were putting together our podcast, I had the idea. Um,
Well, it's a good idea to take uh, schools and athletes that aren't normally recognized and just recognize them for what they bring to their respective athletic departments.
exactly, exactly. And what we're going to do is we're going to do this periodically, uh, maybe once a month,
Hmm.
and we're going to highlight a program also. Well, I'm going to do an overview of D3 athletics,
Hmm.
and then we're going to highlight a program tonight. And then when we revisit this down the road the next month, we're going to highlight another school. So we're going to basically highlight these D3 programs. And it's not always, it won't always be a D3 program that was very prominent. It might be a program which had very few successes. But like Matt said, it's important to recognize these people because they work just as hard as Division 1 athletes.
Hmm.
Um, I probably shouldn't go here because I don't want to offend any Division 1 athletes, but they work, your D3 athletes are working both on the field, court, pool, whatever, but they're also working hard in the classroom.
Yeah.
So,
That's not to say that
because
Division One athletes don't.
that's right. That's not, and that's not to say that, but I'm just,
Juggling of a sport and going to school and maybe holding down a part-time job, that very difficult.
yeah, it's very difficult. That's why really with D1, you don't have time for that. You play your sport, you
Hmm.
go to class, and that's about it. You are Division 3. There are no athletic scholarships. Uh, Athletes can receive merit-based scholarships. It's the largest division um, regarding participants in the NCAA.
Hmm.
There's approximately 200,000 athletes playing Division 3 sports. That represents about 40% of NCAA athletes. Are there notable athletes among the bunch? There are some, yes. 99.9% of Division 3 athletes are not going to make a lot of money playing their selected sport.
Hmm.
However, there are exceptions, and we were talking about this. The one that comes to mind immediately is London Fletcher, who played at John Carroll University and went on to have a very successful NFL career.
Is he
But
in the Hall of Fame?
I, that's a good. I was thinking about it the other day when I was putting this together, and I do not think he is. No.
I don't think he is either, but I'm going to find out.
And I don't know if he will be in the Hall of Fame, but he certainly um, proved that a Division 3 athlete can be successful in the NFL. And he was an undersized linebacker.
He was named in 24 as semifinalist for the Pro Football Hall
Oh,
of
okay.
Fame.
Okay. Okay.
He is not in the Hall of Fame at this time.
So yeah, basically the D3 athlete is a true student athlete, and the word student is emphasized.
Hmm.
Um, they are expected to prioritize academics over sports. The nice thing about D3 athletes, many of them participate in more than one sport. Jamie Erdahl, who was one of the hosts of Good Morning Football,
Hmm.
she played basketball and softball at St. Olaf State up in Minnesota. So, you can play multiple sports. In D1, that's difficult. I know Donovan McNabb attempted it at
A
Syracuse.
couple
How
guys
many
have done it.
years? How many years did he play
Two, I
basketball?
think.
Okay,
Like
so it
two.
was tough. It's tough, yeah. Um, but in D3, you're able to do that. Turn my page here.
Hmm.
Okay. So and also coaches in Division 3.
Hmm.
Usually the head coach gets a decent salary. Many of his assistants are part-time coaches or grad assistants who are basically getting tuition discounts at the university or free tuition
Hmm.
or whatever. They are they could wear more than one hat. They could coach multiple sports. They could be a professor. They could be admissions.
I would
So
imagine they probably are.
yeah,
Or
yeah,
they
I
probably
know.
are a professor of something
The one year
or
Adriana,
adjuncting to something.
Adriana, my daughter, Matt's sister, who played at a D3 institution, uh, the one year her coach was a professor,
Hmm.
as well as a hockey coach. So it's you're wearing more than one hat. Um, but like I said, we need to give these athletes some accolades.
Hmm.
I'm calling this a particular segment MVP. MVP meaning most valuable program. And like I said, it won't always be a program that's stellar athletically,
Hmm.
but the program we're going to do tonight is a school that I'm familiar with because I actually attended it for my first year, and it's called Adrian College. Adrian
Hmm.
College is located in Adrian, Michigan, which is a small town in southeast Michigan. No, I'm sorry, not a small town, a small city in southeastern Michigan,
Hmm.
about 30 miles outside of Toledo, Ohio. So Adrian has some unique sports. They wear the black and gold, and they are the Bulldogs. How many Bulldog teams are there?
So many.
Quite a
They're
few.
probably only beaten by tigers,
Yes,
maybe
I would have to agree.
wildcats.
So, Matt, are you ready for a list of some sports that
At Adrian
Adrian has
College?
for a D3 school? They have a lot of sports.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Let me open up my app here because there are too many to remember. What I like about Adrian, and obviously, I think when I was there in the 71, 72 academic year, we had
Hmm.
a we had a large sports program, or a large athletic program, but I think we had maybe 3,000 students. So now I'm gathering they have more enrollment because they have a lot of club sports to go along with their collegiate sports.
Hmm.
So they have NCAA baseball, but they also have two club teams baseball. They have basketball. They have bass fishing.
What? That's a
Bass fishing.
bass fishing as a sport. Well, I
Yes,
mean, they're
bass.
up near the Great Lakes, right?
Well, they're in the Great Lakes. They're near the Great Lakes. Actually, um, Adrian will be very close to Lake Erie, being the fact
Interesting.
that they're close to Toledo.
Uh,
They have bowling, which is not unusual.
no.
They have cornhole. So I guess there's a
Did not know that that was
NCAA
a
cornhole.
I did not know that that was a recognized sport.
I
I'm not sure anything that you can hold a
don't
beer
know
and
if
be
I don't know
smoking
if
at the same
yeah,
time,
I don't
but
know if the
that's
beers included are allowed during cornhole competitions.
yeah.
If it's NCAA sanctioned, I'm assuming it's not.
Yeah.
They have cross country. They have esports.
Oh,
So,
like
man,
video
explain to me
games.
what that is. Explain. That's that games,
It's
just
gaming.
games. What we were talking about.
So,
There
yeah,
you go.
so when I was growing up and then in my early 20s, I started playing Rainbow Six Vegas. So a lot of tactical shooting.
Okay.
Esports is a lot of first-person shooters, but also sports games. So
Okay.
like FIFA would have, well, it's not FIFA anymore. It's called FC, but
Okay.
there would be a league for that. But it's interesting that it's like a collegiate one. I'd never
Yeah.
heard of that. I'll
Yeah.
have to look into that.
They have football, obviously. They
Hmm.
have golf. I was when I was there, they did not have an ice rink, which they have built an ice rink. They've also built a stadium on campus for football. They used to play off campus.
Hmm.
They have an NCAA ice hockey. They
Yeah.
also have a club ice hockey. Actually, they have three club ice hockey teams.
Hmm.
They have lacrosse.
It's in a
They
hockey hotbed, so
It's a hockey
it's not
hotbed.
surprising.
They have rowing. They have rugby. They have soccer, tennis, track and field, volleyball, and a very good, and even when I was there, they had a very good men's wrestling team.
Hmm.
But they also have a club wrestling team.
They have a lot of sports.
So that's men's now. Now we're off to the ladies' side of
Hmm.
things. Acrobatic, acrobatics and tumbling,
Hmm.
basketball, bowling, cheerleading, cornhole,
Cornhole
cross
again.
country, dance team, equestrian,
Oh.
esports. Here's a program which actually I talked to someone in Atlanta who had a daughter who was being recruited. They have a
Mhm.
figure skating team. I checked. They compete in like four events throughout the year.
Yeah.
The only other college that they were skating against, believe it or not, was Texas A&M.
Huh. That's interesting. I'd be
Uh,
curious to know, like when I went to Canisius, they had the synchronized swimming team. I'd be curious to know what other colleges have
oh,
synchronized
okay,
swimming as a
okay.
sport.
I'm There's obviously probably some other colleges that do have. I would guess maybe like the schools like the like USC, UCLA, maybe
Thinking like maybe like Texas.
Texas might have one. Yeah. They women's golf,
Mhm.
NCAA ice hockey, two club hockey teams, lacrosse, rowing, rugby, soccer, uh, NCAA softball, a uh, club softball team, synchronized skating,
Huh.
a lot of skating. So they definitely use their rink.
Yeah.
Tennis, track and field, volleyball, club volleyball, and wrestling. So that is the athletic program at Adrian College. So
Hmm.
quite an extensive program. I have not come across a college with that many teams.
Such yeah, not just the amount of teams, but the eclectic nature of those types of teams. Bass fishing, I've never heard of as a
No, I've never heard bass fishing.
recognized sport. I didn't know that esports were even recognized by
But
universities or anything.
when your cousin was figure skating
Hmm.
in Georgia, I was at the rink getting ready to watch her do a program, and my sister came up to me and said, and introduced me to a lady whose daughter was being recruited by Adrian College to for figure skating, and and, Rachel introduced us and said, my
Hmm.
brother spent a year there. He can maybe give you an idea what it's like because they hadn't seen the college yet. And I'm thinking to myself, figure skating. That's a new one on me. I didn't know they had a figure skating team. But like I said, when I was there in the early 70s, they didn't have a hockey team either because they had no rink. But they
Right.
obviously have a very good Division III hockey program, uh, men and women. So, but they always had a very good They always had a very good athletic program. I knew a couple guys in the dorm which were athletes. We had one guy by the name of Greg Grambo, and he was a baseball catcher.
Hmm.
His brother, by the way, was actually a defensive end at the University of Michigan, playing for Bo Schembechler at the time. We had some football players in the dorm. We had basketball players. I got to know a wrestler really well. Wrestling is really big in that part of the country.
Hmm.
So they had a very good wrestling team. So Adrian College, congratulations. Oh, I gotta say some more things about Adrian College because I did
Yes.
find something very impressive regarding Adrian, but I need to find it here and it's right here. Okay, believe it or not, um, not only does Adrian have a lot of teams and I'm sure some very good athletes, they
Hmm.
also have some very smart athletes. So the Michigan Intercollegiate Athletic Association, which Adrian belongs to, has introduced its Academic Elite Award, honoring the top performing student athletes in each sport, those with a perfect 4.0. Adrian College had an impressive showing this past year. They had five student athletes named to the first ever Michigan Elite Academic Award. So there you go.
So not only good athletes, but smart athletes.
Smart athletes. To further this discussion, Adrian College has placed 201 student athletes on the 2024-25 MIAA Academic Honor Roll. These are students with a 3.5 GPA or higher. This number is just shy of the school's all-time record, which is 2000, or which is 203.
Hmm.
And impressively, 17 Bulldogs earned this recognition for the fourth time in their career.
Well,
So
so every year they've been
academics,
there.
I think this kind of supports what I was talking about earlier with regarding the student athlete,
Hmm.
the word student. So
Right.
um, kudos to Adrian College. Enjoyed it there. I had a good year there, met some great people, but transferred to Niagara University, which I do not regret. So there you go. That's our first most valuable program.
Installment of MVP, most valuable
So
program.
look for another one coming up next month.
And we've got Premier League soccer slash football coming up shortly.
Yeah, what else should we
Uh, well,
what else
we've
should we
got
hash out?
we've got the Premier League starting next weekend. I
Oh,
believe it
I
starts on Friday.
Friday. Liverpool, Bournemouth, I believe,
Yeah.
right?
Yep, and then a big slate of games on Saturday, and then Arsenal plays at Old Trafford at Manchester United on Sunday.
Was that the
So
early game or
that's
a
the
late morning game?
that's the late morning game Sunday. So that should be exciting. The Bills played yesterday, lost to the Giants. Didn't see any Josh Allen sightings. I know that Shakir is got a high ankle sprain and he's not been playing. James Cook dressed but didn't play.
Question for you. Did Keon Coleman play?
Yes,
Oh, I didn't see him out there.
he was out there, I think.
Fairly, I know
You just
basically
want
it
to get through the
was,
game without
yeah,
injuries.
I know basically it was a game to give our backups a chance to play, especially our backup quarterbacks a chance to play.
Mhm.
And both of them looked okay. Um, Hopefully they won't be needed this year.
It's interesting how as the league has aged, how little less and less time the starting quarterbacks are getting in the preseason.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's like they're getting their reps on
Yeah.
on the practice field.
Yeah, because you just can't, well, you can't risk it. You just
Can't risk it.
cannot because that's your season. Let's just face it. We're a quarterback league. If your quarterback's down, you're pretty much screwed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think, yeah, I think we got adequate backups, but they're not Josh Allen. So
Correct. Well, no one
I
is.
think, but I even think that probably has washed over into like running backs and even re wide receivers are not getting the reps. Starters, I mean, are not getting the reps in the exhibition games, but they're
Hmm.
getting it at
They're
practice.
getting into practice. I mean, we saw some line. I think we saw a couple of the starting linemen and starting wideouts, with the exception of Shakir and uh, no starting running back either. So should be interesting.
Yeah. Oh, and now we play the Bears next week, and then
And we got one more.
we're in Tampa. Which did I tell you I'm going to the game in
No,
Tampa here? I got tickets.
either.
Yeah. So we'll let you.
Well, I'm going to the Tampa game here.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
That's
got
in
tickets
when?
to November.
Okay.
Yeah.
Baker. Get to see Baker Mayfield.
I plan to see Baker. That's the plan. Um,
Yes. Baker will be slinging the ball around, so our secondary needs to be alert.
did he just put it in the pond? No, he
I
cleared
didn't
it.
see it. I
Oh
know.
my
I
God.
see that. Well, poor Tommy Fleetwood. He didn't make this playoff either.
Justin Rose somehow cleared that pond. I thought it was in
Justin
the
Rose
drink.
is an amazing player.
He already put it in the
It
drink
looked like
once
it's in the middle of the
this round.
drink. How did it come out?
I have no idea. Yeah.
Did it hit something?
It,
Wow, look at that. Look at
he got
that.
lucky.
Man, he got lucky. Just like, what, 3 inches from a OB
Yeah.
or in the water. If it hit the
Damn near.
OB line, it would have rolled in the water.
Maybe. I don't know. That's tough. That's tight. Anyway, let's go ahead and end this episode then. So
Okay.
this is episode 11 of Echoes from the Arena. We talked about quite a few different things on this episode. And keep an eye on our Facebook page for some ideas of what we're going to be doing next. And for some of our past episodes, you can also check YouTube. I have links on our Facebook page as well as Apple Podcasts. For those that are on Android, you can use the Podbean app. That's where we're hosting our podcast off of. So for Greg, I am Matt saying good night.
Good night.